Okay, and I'll finalize this with fibromyalgia and all other diseases. I mean, I've been really blessed to do this work, and I don't consider it work. It's a joy to come here every day and to travel. You know, it sounds impressive, and the resume sounds like a big deal and makes me sound like a big shot, but it's a privilege for me to do that. I mean, it really is. If I had money, I would pay to do this, because when you watch human potential in practice, it's remarkable. I mean, right now as we sit here, the house is always filled as it is today. And we have 5 or 6 members of this particular group that all heal themselves of a catastrophic disease here. But what's common with all of them and all of the thousands and thousands who have done it is not that Hippocrates healed them, is that we gave them the tools, we gave them the support, they did what we suggested, became independent so they didn't need anyone else, and healed themselves. And that takes what we're now going to talk about, psychology.
Yeah.
Now, when I was younger and a lot more egocentric, I used to believe that we could heal ourselves 100%. We didn't need anyone, and what's wrong with us? Why are we so weak? That's important. And I finally matured to a point realizing that many people, maybe not myself as deeply or as dramatically as others, have deep problems. I mean, they were abused in some way by their parents, if not sexually, emotionally. They don't feel they were loved. They were talked down to. They maybe weren't quite as bright. Maybe they had dyslexia. Maybe they had attention deficit disorder. Maybe they were a little slower. Maybe their IQ wasn't quite what the class was that they were in. All of these things contribute to low self-image, low self-esteem. And what we're now going to talk about is the punchline. And don't let anyone ever lie to you, a psychiatrist or a psychologist, after this conversation. Because everything that has to do with psychology that's negative has to do with a low self-image. And how do we correct low self-images? Raise the self-esteem. Now, you don't raise self-esteem by getting people in a room and beating them up and saying, you've been a bad person, now be a good person. Well, that's exactly what Mom and Dad possibly did and culture and society did to allow you to believe that you're a lowly person and unable person. What our people do, and they're gifted. Andy's been here with me 17 years. He was an ER nurse at one point, working with people dying. You know, they come into the ER and they have gunshots or they've been dismembered on Highway 95, and they've got to make really, really snap decisions, life and death decisions. And he did that, and that was a brilliant training. And it's been a magic to watch him for almost 20 years, because with that keen insight, when people walk in, rather than saying, oh, we need weeks or months or years to get this worked out, he's able to look at things the way he learned as a young man in a very dramatic. This is life and death, which it is sometimes, by the way. If somebody has cancer, they don't get over themselves, they're going to die. If somebody has fibromyalgia, they don't get over themselves, they're going to suffer. So he has to instantly, with a snapshot, see. And so he has that insight. The second, Anthony, and it's really interesting, Andy is more like me. He's more very masculine, assertive in his approach. Anthony is genuinely pastoral. He was a Catholic priest and was devout in what he did and studied theology and philosophy and understands the theologies and philosophies of the world, basically not only Catholicism but every great one that exists. He's steeped in this. He realized he liked girls. And so basically he left the priesthood. He left the priesthood. He's been here with us, I guess, about 13 years now.
Wow.
And his approach is beautiful. He's using a lot of electronics now, which is the state-of-the-art in biofeedback technology that really helps to repattern and reprogram the mind. As you know, every guest that comes here sits and gets a CD that's personalized. This is what you need to listen to. This is the kind of things you need to implant back into your head again. And it's interesting because all of us, including myself, if we look deep enough and long enough, we're going to find little cracks in the picture. And what they do is they help you fill those cracks, but not by demand, but by you wanting to do it. And that's the difference here at Hippocrates. And I think the most important thing we offer people is the psychotherapy, to be honest with you. You know, because both of you have been here, I'm an expert in nutrition. But the truth of the matter is more than 75% of what I talk about is the head.
Yeah.
After 40 years of doing this work, I realize if you don't change your head, I don't care what you eat, you're not going to get well.